Hey everyone, Chris here from Brick Players Union, and in this video I'm going to share with you my LEGO MOC taxi cab. So let's check it out. So my inspiration for this build came as a result of my rebuilding of Speed Champions set 75909, the McLaren P1 from 2015. As I've mentioned in a few other videos, I'm rebuilding all of the vehicles from the Speed Champions theme to make them a little bit smaller so they're more in proportion to the other vehicles in my LEGO city. Now, part of my process for these rebuilds involves replacing the larger Speed Champions fenders and wheels with smaller fenders and wheels from the LEGO City theme. Now, unfortunately, LEGO does not make city fenders in the flame yellow-orange color, so I had to rebuild the P1 using LEGO bricks in the original bright yellow color. So that left me with a bunch of unused bricks in the flame yellow-orange color, so I started thinking about what to do with them. What real-life vehicles are this unique shade of yellow? Now, construction vehicles are, but I already have a bunch of construction vehicles that LEGO makes in the original bright yellow color, so that was out. School buses are, but I don't have nearly enough bricks in that color to build an entire bus. In fact, aside from the pieces in this set, I only have a handful of other pieces in this color, so a school bus was out. So the only other vehicle I could think of was a taxi cab. Now the problem with that is that taxi cabs are cars, which kind of defeats the purpose of downsizing, but then I figured, well, at least taxi cabs are sedans, so maybe it won't be that bad, so I decided to give it a try. Now again, I was working mostly with parts from the McLaren P1, which is a very sleek supercar with a lot of curves, and I wanted to build a boxy sedan, so that presented me with a little bit of a challenge when I was planning the design of this build. So when it came to building the sides, one good thing is that the larger Speed Champions fenders take up a lot of space. And I also knew that I wanted to incorporate a black and white checkerboard pattern, so I built that studs on side, and between those two things, that pretty much took care of both sides of the taxi. Another detail I added was to use these 1x1 round tiles in metallic silver for the hubcaps to not only give it a touch of authenticity, but also to help make the wheels look a little bit smaller too. I built the front studs on side, and I used square headlights and these 1x2 cheese grater pieces for the front grille to give it the boxy look of a sedan. I built the front bumper using these 1x2 bow tiles on the corners, and I also incorporated this front crash bar, which is a common feature on a lot of taxi cabs, especially in bigger cities with a lot of traffic. I built the hood using a combination of tiles and cheese slopes to keep it flat and angular, and even though the hood is not easily removable, I still added a 2x2 motor, a small battery, and a transparent green coolant reservoir underneath just to give it some added detail. Around back, I built the rear bumper with the same style as the front bumper using the 1x2 bow tiles on the corners, and I also integrated a New York license plate into the center of the rear bumper. I gave it a simple set of 1x2 transparent red taillights, and like the hood, I built the rear deck lid with the combination of tiles and cheese slopes to again keep it flat and angular. And one final touch was to add an oversized CB antenna to the rear deck lid so that the driver can keep in contact with the dispatcher. I built the roof using a combination of 2x2 square tiles and 2x2 bow tiles to keep it nice and flat. I also added a rooftop sign for advertisements in white and also a transparent yellow light up front to let people know whether the cab is on duty or off duty. Now, since this is a taxi, making the interior big enough to fit both a driver and a passenger in the rear seat was a must, so I used the 3x6x2 windows in the front and rear to make it a little bit taller, giving it enough room to fit both minifigures. Now, with that being said, interior space still is a little cramped, so I had to get creative when adding some of the details. So if you look at the dash, you'll notice that the steering wheel is actually a hubcap from a Speed Champions wheel to keep it low profile. I also used a 1x1 tile with the keypad for the trip meter, and I added a CB radio up front as well. I used the 1x2 Palisade bricks to give the front seat a little bit of texture, and I used these 2x1x2 wall elements in transparent clear to serve as the divider between the front seat and the rear seat. And the rear seat is fairly basic, but as you can see, it's still plenty big enough to fit a rear seat passenger. Okay, there you have it, my LEGO MOC yellow taxi cab. If you like this video, please let me know by giving me a thumbs up. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please do. That is always greatly appreciated. And if you have a minute before you go, please leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think. I'd also like to give a shout out to Solo Brick Builder, Mama's Bricks, Jarv Bricks, and MPZS Lego Fan. And if you'd like me to give you a shout out, let me know down in the comments and I'll be sure to do so in my next video. And one final note, I also have an Instagram page, so after you watch a whole bunch more of my videos here, be sure to go over to Instagram and check me out at Brick Players Union. And on that note, I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.